Alright, welcome back to another league race. This time we're back with FTRL for round number 2 at the Sochi International Circuit. Or Sochi Autodrome, actually. I just say International Circuit, it's easier, but it's actually the Sochi Autodrome for the Russian Grand Prix. Oh boy. Dry qualifying, dry race, thankfully, because that would be the only thing that could make this worse, because this track is... ever since F1 2020 has not been fun to drive, and it's even more so this year. Not only are the curbs absolutely diabolical, the added understeer issues are a problem as well. I particularly struggle with understeer in the last 2 corners. For some reason, like, tire pressures were fine. Like, my tires weren't on fire coming into the last 2 corners, so it was a bizarre one. But here's the setup. A little different to the 10-6 setup that everyone else runs. 8-6 I started with, and then as practice went on, like, I thought, okay, like 9 might be the way to go for the start of the race, and then we'll switch to 10 for the mediums. But that's how I would felt throughout this whole thing. Last run, I was going to improve pretty well on this decent lap, not the best lap, but I did a 29.7 as a PB in practice. So anyways, last 2 corners, last corner here, understeer wide. There is my lap gone. I swear I've seen other people extend and not, like, to that degree, and not get their laps invalidated. Anyways, it's P17. A 30 flat would have had me in 11th, which is really disappointing to lose out, because given where the look at everyone else's pace was at, there was an opportunity there to have some really decent grid position, and I bottled it. I was the only person who didn't get a proper time on softs. I invalidated my other runs. Really disappointing. So... not great, but I knew that, look, well, overtaking is tough here at times, and not even that tough. It's the fact that penalties aren't really a thing here anymore because of the curbs. Penalties used to always be a thing around Russia, and yeah, just with that gone, with those curbs now there, that element is not as prevalent as it once was, so... it's not really as much of a... same with Kota as well. It's just not much of a challenge anymore to get penalties. But anyways, here we go then. 5 red lights. And away we go. Starting on soft compound tyres because the safety car would absolutely screw you. So good start. Well, average start. Got Lennon on mediums immediately. My aim was to clear these guys on mediums. Oscar and Lennon was the big thing. So on the outside here, nice little lines emerging, so we're going to go into it. Funky Fox goes absolutely miles deep into turn 1, causes a big chain reaction. I was able to avoid it, thankfully, but other people were not so lucky. So got up to P13 off the bat, which is really nice. I need to try and dispatch of Oscar as soon as possible on those mediums. Oscar's reserving tonight, or last night rather, or Tuesday night. And yeah, so that's, look, unfortunate, but look, I'm again keeping my nose clean. Was able to avoid all that, thankfully. Bit of luck involved, so we're up a few positions, which is good because I'm starting P17, not ideal. And then up in front there, I see a car absolutely go flying, which is Lynx, whose car was sent into oblivion by John Evan Terry. So, oh, stop. And then Oscar kind of, I think, just got really early the brakes there, so I got by him. So, yeah, up to P11, having started P17, so a pretty good start. Almost ran to the back of Dylan there. That braking point, by the way, if you're using the braking line that the game gives you there, it's actually just incorrect at that corner. You will always go deep, I think, if you brake where the game tells you to brake. But lap number 4, we're moving on here. First of many spinners. First one is Carwin Robb. Actually, I don't think he spun. I think he actually came together with Wesker, actually. I think was what Matt said when he was watching the stream. He wasn't able to race on Tuesday. So, end of lap number 4, heading to lap 5. See, Dylan makes a mistake there. I don't think he got wing damage from this, but the speed difference wasn't enough for me to actually overtake him. So even because he had DRS, so even though he made the mistake, I couldn't really punish him for it. So yeah, we'll see what the story is heading on then. Lap number 6. Okay, lap number 6. So now basically Sway, Scuba, Dylan were in that little gang, and they're stuck behind John's lag. So that's why we're as close as we are here. Lynx here, who is well out of position. You know, he's got absolutely rapid pace. He's put a lot of time onto this game. He's absolutely rapid, and he gets by. Lap number 7, I decided, look, there's a lot to be gained with an undercut here, because I was being held a lot here, I think. Like, everyone's going very slowly. There's some damage, I think, in front. We'll get to that, but I felt like an opportunity here to undercut was definitely here, and I thought, because I had to brake really early, and I thought surely I can get in clear air a bit quicker, you know, with a bit of medium. So that doesn't make any sense. I thought I'd be quicker in clear air. We get held here by Yaram, so that's unfortunate. And my entry was a little slow, but it was nothing compared to my exit. I swear I pressed the circle button. Nothing. I'm trying to go through the gears. Like, why am I accelerating? So, almost into the barrier there as well. So, this undercut is automatically an absolute failure, because Yaren's basically overtaking me at the end of the pit lane here. So, the outlap was average. I was under pressure from Yarm, and Sway and Scuba pit. Dylan had an incident there, I think, on that outlap. So Yaran goes through there. Dan, who was behind me, actually manages to overcut me as well. So just an absolutely rotten undercut. It's a shame that didn't work out, because I really think something could have happened there. Lap number 13, Yaram then ahead of Dan. He bins it and heading out of turn 2, which deploys the VSC. So yeah, chance to save some fuel. Fuel wasn't really an issue. I started with 1.5 laps of fuel, and really I should have started with much less than that. But I guess I used more fuel in practice than I did in the actual race. Lap number 15, Dan is not going to fight this, so he lets me go, and I, of course, understeered massively into the corner, so he almost overtakes me again. Funky Fox is arriving on the scene. He's got some good pace, so he's going to be up our rear ends pretty soon. And heading on then to lap number 17, he's beginning that charge now. I thought he would go here with DRS, to be fair. I wasn't going to really fight this. I left the door open because I knew he was going to be quicker. Plus, I wouldn't have minded DRS heading down the main straight, but he actually couldn't complete the move, as Dan is taken out by Lennon there behind for some damage. So Lennon was catching on softs, and yeah, kind of his incident with Dan kind of put pay to that. So we're still ahead of Funky Fox here, and yeah, but look, it's only inevitable. Like, Scuba and Sway are 5-6 seconds up the road. They've got, Sway's got DRS, so I know they had damage, and they were held up, but yeah, that failed undercut attempt really kind of ruined that. But anyway, there goes Funky Fox. Not that I think I could have massively matched them on pace, but I could have been a lot closer anyways, which would have, maybe who knows, maybe I could have been within DRS, maybe it would have helped. But Scuba then ended up having an incident. Not sure what happened, actually. I think I think one of the curbs actually got him. But he's got no wing. And VSC ends for that incident, and yeah, he's powerless, sadly. So that's a position there. That's P7. Lennon has got a drive-through penalty after speeding with that VSC, so he won't be an issue on his softs. So it's Dylan, and then you see Carwin and Rob there, who are going to be chasing us here. Lap 26, we are defending hard. Dylan's got a penalty. Not worried about him, but I knew 8-9 laps ago actually that Karen Rob was going to be an issue towards the end of this race, and here he is. I knew he was out of position. I knew he's got pace. And I'd say the last lap or so, these tyres have been going a bit. I'm surprised he actually didn't go for the move here, to be honest. I will say that. I'm surprised as I was keeping behind on that straight, because as soon as he had DRS, like, properly, I thought, well, that's it. Like, because normally if you don't have DRS and you go down that straight, generally speaking, you're not in a great place. And I've tried to use some ERS, but Dylan actually trying to fight Rob here actually really helped. Really helped me heading down, because we're heading on to the last lap here now. Where I want to keep this P7. I really want it. So final lap of the race, 4:10s. I thought, oh no, surely I've still not got enough. I'm just using everything I can. Like, I've got to give it hell for leather. Just have to. Like, DRS be damned at this stage. This is the last lap. Defend the inside, which is actually huge, because you just can't overtake on the outside there unless you're like a car length ahead, basically. So that actually really helped. Defending this inside line here, and which the inside here becomes the outside then for this turn. I leave the car in the middle of the road there, and defend that position. Later that lap though, I just have nothing left. There's nothing else I can do, and I swear. So Rob is going to go through here, and Dylan too. My tires hit 60% now. Honestly, it was like it was like it triggered a puncture. The tires just absolutely went. It was the same for Rob as well. His tires went as he went into the barrier there, so he loses that one. But you can see coming out of you saw it coming out of that turn there. It was absolutely awful, and coming out of this second to last turn as well, absolutely awful as well. I clipped the curb slightly, but it really felt these tires were just done. Like 60%, and that was it. But it is P7. Lynx actually pitched it late on, and his pace was so rapid in conjunction with our tires just dying that he actually caught up to a second at the end there, and I didn't really realize this till afterwards how close he actually got. But it's P7 from P17, so really, really happy with that. I feel like that was justified somewhat. Like, some people did spin out here and there, but I feel like the pace was good, that I shouldn't have been starting at P17 to begin with. So happy days. No warnings, I don't think. They see lap times there, but yeah, like even Dutch was saying afterwards, like a 40% his mediums absolutely went. So 60% was where mine absolutely just died. Like it was literally like someone triggered a puncture. It was actually insane. But thankfully it didn't cost me anything in the end, as Rob actually lost the back end. Here are the provisional standings. Funky Fox might get himself a penalty for his turn 1 shenanigans, but in P7, level on points with Sway, of course. So it's been a good start to the season despite 2 wretched qualifying sessions. 18th and 17th has been my starting positions so far this season. So yeah, it's been absolutely wretched in qualifying, so I have to work on that. But there's a good opportunity to do that next week, which is the French Grand Prix. So looking forward to that. I actually don't mind that track at all. I did a social race there for TTML. And I quite enjoy driving that track, to be fair. It wasn't as bad as Russia, for example. So looking forward to that. But that's going to do it for another league race. Next up is France. Later this week will be TTML in Bahrain. So looking forward to that. That race takes place on Friday. So some sort of video over the weekend, I'm sure. And yeah, until next time.